Katseye are losing the plot.
Zucchini. Eat zucchini.
Hey guys, welcome to 2026. I hope your holidays are going great, and happy late Three Kings Day for those who celebrate. I took about a week and a half off, so I hope you didn't miss me too much. But today we are going to be talking about Katseye's latest release, Internet Girl. And boy do I have some thoughts. But before we get into today's video, I just want to take a quick second to say thank you. Genuinely. I know I sound like a broken record and some of you might not care, but in case you haven't read my community posts, Wade's Winter Wonderland ended up being much bigger and more meaningful than I ever expected. What started as a fun seasonal idea for hitting 1,000 subscribers turned into one of the most rewarding and creative stretches I've had on this channel in a long time. The comments and the support on every single upload, it honestly reminded me why I fell in love with making videos in the first place. On top of that, the response to my end of year 1,000 subscriber and 10-year anniversary special has been overwhelming in the best way. I've been doing YouTube for a long time, but hitting those milestones while also looking back on an entire decade of creating felt incredibly full circle. Whether you've been here since the early days, found the channel through commentary, or through Wade's Winter Wonderland, thank you for being here, for watching, for commenting, and for caring. This stretch of support has genuinely re-energized me, and I'm more excited than ever about what's coming this year. But alright, enough of the sappy thank yous, this is the last one, I promise. Now, let's get into the video. I have very mixed feelings about Internet Girl, and I know I'm not alone in that. I've seen plenty of comments online praising the song and the direction they're seemingly taking, and defending it as misunderstood or deeper than it appears. But I've also seen a lot of people be much more vocal about their dislike this time around, more than we saw with Gnarly. And honestly, I get why. Because for me, this song didn't spark curiosity, it sparked confusion. When Gnarly first dropped, my reaction was bad, like genuinely bad. I remember calling it brain rot music with a couple of catchy moments buried in chaos. It felt messy, polarizing, and honestly kind of unserious. But then something happened. By the time I posted my Beautiful Chaos video, Gnarly had grown on me. And to this day, I still don't know if that was an organic shift or if I'd just been exposed to it enough that my brain gave in. Stockholm Syndrome? Maybe, but at least Gnarly eventually had something underneath the shock. It was unapologetically weird. Internet Girl doesn't do that for me. If anything, it feels like they took the most polarizing aspects of Gnarly and pushed them even further without adding any additional substance to justify it. Let's talk about the lyrics, because that's where this really starts to fall apart for me. To be blunt, they make almost no sense. I've seen people argue that Internet Girl has a deeper message. I think the Genius community answer sums up the main talking points I've heard. According to them, the meaning of Internet Girl, quote, is about the pressures of being a woman on the internet with being judged, hated, compared, and sexualized. The hook of the song, Eat Zucchini, being a reflection of how diet culture impacts young girls' minds, and I want you, I want you, I want you, speaking to how women are objectified and sexualized. And listen, those are real, important topics. I wish the song was actually about that. But here's my issue. Almost none of that is clearly presented in the song itself. Aside from vague references to being perceived and sexualized, the lyrics don't meaningfully explore those ideas. They don't develop them, they don't even really point towards them. And on top of that, that explanation literally misquotes the lyric saying I want you instead of oh won't you. That might seem small, but it highlights the larger problem. People are projecting meaning onto the song instead of pulling meaning from it. Now we have to talk about that line. Eat zucchini. Out of context, that line is wild. In context, it's still confusing. It comes out of nowhere, it isn't meaningfully framed, and it doesn't connect clearly to any broader theme. Plus, beyond being confusing, it can easily read as intentionally dismissive, and because of that, it feels less like commentary and more like bait. Almost like the song is daring the listener to react, and when you do, the response is essentially, deal with it. There's a tone to that line that comes off less as playful rebellion and more as shrugging a middle finger to the audience, as if criticism itself is a part of the marketing strategy. Instead of inviting listeners into the song or encouraging reflection, it creates distance, making it feel like the group, or more accurately, the concept behind them, is talking at people, not with them. I don't know if that makes sense. But that's where it all starts to feel less bold and more alienating, especially for listeners who actually want to engage with the music beyond surface level shock. To me, Internet Girl feels engineered, not written. Engineered to go viral, to be clipped, and to cause discourse. And to be clear, it worked. That line is stuck in my head. It's become a vocal stim, but that doesn't make it good. It just means the strategy worked. And I know some people are gonna say, you're not looking deep enough. You're taking it too literally. You have to read between the lines. But here's the thing. The song doesn't invite you to look deeper. There's nothing in the structure, the delivery, or the lyricism that guides you towards introspection. Instead, it feels intentionally shallow. It's designed to be absorbed quickly and reacted to loudly. That's not subversive, that's not clever, that's just noise. And that's what frustrates me the most. Because if this were genuinely sharp commentary disguised as chaos, I'd be on board. But it isn't. It feels like intentional brain rot in service of engagement rather than expression. Once is an experiment, twice is a coincidence, 3 times is a pattern. At this point, it feels like Katseye are being given polarizing songs specifically to spark conversation, regardless of whether those songs actually showcase who they are or what they can do. And that's where I start to worry. Internet Girl doesn't highlight their vocals or performance ability, it doesn't build identity, it muddies it. Are there some moments I enjoy? Sure, but liking parts of a song doesn't mean it's immune to criticism. Right now, it feels like they're gearing up for another comeback, and this release exists purely to keep their name circulating. And while that might work short term, it comes at a cost. This song takes me right back to where I was before Beautiful Chaos. I said back then that that mini album could make or break them, and when it dropped, I felt like they'd successfully carved out a space slightly removed from traditional K-pop, something more global, experimental, more flexible. I was even open to hyperpop being their lane. But now, it feels like they're throwing things at a wall to see what sticks, or what will be talked about. And what makes it worse is that Internet Girl is, in my opinion, objectively weaker than Gnarly. It's less choppy, but emptier, more controversial, but less interesting. Gnarly shouldn't be the blueprint. If this shock value strategy continues, Katseye risks being branded as a meme group, known more for discourse than artistry, and once that label sticks, it's incredibly hard to shake. This isn't about hating fun, it's not about rejecting weirdness or experimentation. To me, Internet Girl isn't misunderstood art, it isn't a bold statement, it's just lyrics over a beat. And when songs like this don't showcase the members' talents, it risks pushing casual listeners away from their better work. It makes people less curious, not more. Katseye has potential, real potential. That's why this is so frustrating. Not because the song exists, but because it feels like a misuse of momentum. I don't want them to be loud, I want them to be intentional. And right now, Internet Girl feels like noise where there could have been something meaningful.
I'm getting out of here.
So that's it. Thank you guys so very much for watching and listening to my rant. Remember to like, comment, share, and subscribe. Click that bell icon so you're notified every time I post a video. Tell me in the comments down below, do you like Internet Girl? And how do you feel about the studio version versus the one they did on tour? I obviously prefer the tour version, but I just feel that in general, the song isn't for me. And the way that it was produced, I don't know, something about the studio version just feels a little bit off, a little bit uncanny. And again, I know I'm not the only one. If you read the comments on that video or any of the videos for that matter, a lot of people are being very vocal about their dissatisfaction. So I think that's also why I feel a little bit encouraged to put out this video, because I feel seen. But anyways, remember that I love you guys so much, and I will see you very, very soon. Bye!